All right, Noah Lyles is making everybody else look like they are human. Of course. This is the world's fastest man competing right now. He's got the American record in the 200 meters, and he's coming to his favorite event. Of course, he's going to make everybody look like they're human. Let's see him set up for his starting blocks right here, because we got something to talk about today. All right, he's getting in the blocks. Let's go a little bit further. Starts out pretty good. Famule on his inside. And look, remember how he used to start out like Famule. Actually, he would be all the way back over here where Famule is, actually. Both of them might have been closer together. But he took a few seasons to work on his weaknesses, and he still is. He's one of the 200-meter athletes that actually goes and competes in the 60-meter indoor. Set a personal best, got second at Worlds. Now, that is fantastic. So let's go back over here. Getting out on the rest of the field. Not 100% away from the field like he normally is. They got some good starts there, but you already see him. He's like 2-3 meters up already. And you can see this headwind. This headwind is really tearing on him. But he's looking very strong in his headwind. Right here. You see him rocking a little bit. He usually has his rocking. But when he's doing this, you usually see the gap just accelerate. Look at that headwind. Negative 1.6 headwind for Noah Lyles, 1977. Now, before this race, he had declared he wanted to beat the 1956 by Tyson Gay that has the meet record. But he was looking a little bit nervous in the face, and he normally doesn't. All right, he normally does not look nervous in the face. But I'm going to go here and talk about his competition in just a second. But I want to welcome you all to Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And I am Nick, your host, and we're going to go straight into this. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Noah Lyles making the rest of them look like human. We're going to go over this one more time. He's looking good, not taking one wrong step here. I don't really see anything from the outside looking that he could improve. His knees are looking pretty good right here as he's coming in for the finish. So, hey, everything to my eye, obviously him and his coach are going to say something different, but everything to my eye, he looks good. So let's look at the results. All right, and here's the page for the results here. We got Kenny Bednarek. He's at the lead, but look, a 1976 with a tailwind. All right, he's got a tailwind. Everybody else after him has a headwind. But I want to point something out here where there are certain advantages and disadvantages. Noah Lyles ran into a headwind. As a matter of fact, I'll say it this way. I'll say it the other way. Courtney Lindsay, we're going to see what he does later on in the season, particularly against Noah Lyles because it's the USA Championships and everything and the Olympic trials there. Now, we have Tobogo and Lindsay. Both of them ran a virtual tie, and they are tied here. Now, obviously, we're going to see how they do later, but they ran into a headwind. All tracks are not created equally, but more importantly, all altitudes are not created equally. It is easier to sprint a faster time at altitude. That is why when Fred Curley ran his personal best, he ran it in Nairobi, right? Or he ran his best time in the season that year. There are so many people that go then to Nairobi and they're able to run good times because it's at slight altitude. They're no longer really trying to point out altitude anymore in athletics. I think in order to just enjoy faster times, just like in Cali, Colombia, you're going to see athletes do faster times there. They typically like to have championships at slight altitude. Like when it was in Atlanta, that was slight altitude. You see a bunch of world records go down. So if it's not the shoes, the clothes, the starting blocks, the material of the track, it is the location in which they have it a lot of times. Now, every area isn't like that, but yeah. Now, compare that to New York at sea level. So you got sea level. It was a little bit cool on that day. So it's not the best advantages for a sprinter, and he ran into a headwind with at sea level, a little bit cool, into a headwind. Now, that's going to tell you that this 1977 is worth more, even if all of them were in the same race, than that 1971 that was in Nairobi. That's where that is there. Orgo, we're going to see what happens with him as well. He had a tailwind. So right now, Noah Lyles is leading the charge, leading the pack. I would dare say he had the same thing. That 1956 would have been wiped away. I mean, Kenny Bednarek wouldn't have been world lead, but he is right now. So he is dominating. Let's go over to the 100 real quick and interpret that. Okay. My mouse clicked the 60 meter. Now, we had him go down to Jamaica. He said, man, where you at? Let me at him. He goes down and goes against anybody else. He went down to Jamaica against Oblique Seville. Will Oblique Seville make a medal? I wonder that. What do you guys think here? Because each year he's going and going and going. But will he get a medal in the open event? Will he get a medal in the open event? Because everything he's touched so far since 2021, when he first got into on the world stage from the Olympics Tokyo in 2021, every team he's kind of been on, with the exception of last year, it's been fourth on the 4x1. Then he's got fourth in the open 100 in 2022, fourth in the 4x1 in 2022, fourth last year in Budapest in 2023 in the 100, and then a third with his team on a 4x1. So far, all but one of them, I mean, you got him on a team, is fourth place. I just wonder, is this the year that he's going to be able to get a medal? And right now, beating Noah Lyles earlier in the season, we're going to see how that does because he knows how to peak. But maybe he's got his race pattern down. Maybe he's got everything good there. This is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. I'm excited to see the challenge. I'm excited to see what happens. But Noah Lyles, I still say obviously he has a title of world's fastest man. He won the championships last year, so he gets that title. We're going to see what happens. I still say all eyes on Noah. People are not really liking that he's able to win. I see that comment all the time in the 100 just because he can't get out that hard. They're like, man, all these people got to do is this. Well, all they had to do is what? They lost. Oh, sorry. Until they could start beating them. And he's beating athletes that are faster than him a lot of times in the 60. You would think that they're better than him in the 60. They're focused on their start. They're everything like that. And yet he's able to beat them. This is because this man has the range. He's working with the right coach. They're working on the right things. And they say, look, hey, I want to get this world record. He's got that in his eyes. Whether he gets it or not, okay, cool. Whether he gets it in the 1 or the 2, okay, great. But guess what? The fact that he has that there and he's worked, we can see him work on his start. We could see him work on these things. This is what got him all of these medals and everything here. You got Tokyo with the bronze when he was in lane 3. And really, he was like, hey, I ain't got to worry about when that was a mistake. He made sure he never made that mistake anymore. Then you got all of these other things, especially him going back to here in 2019, 4x1, where he was anchoring the 200. Now this one, that was an exciting 200. I still go back and watch that from time to time, where he was starting so far back. And then it was like a slingshot, just went up there and he took off and blazed him. That was an exciting 200, but he didn't want to be like that anymore. He did not want to leave himself open. Right? He did not want to leave himself open to say, hey, look, one day somebody might have the same or similar finishing as me, but they got out so much better than me, I can't catch them. So he has worked on that season after season. Then you get him on all of his open events. So far, he's gotten all of these golds. 200 in Budapest, 100 in Budapest, 200 in Eugene, outside of the Tokyo, of course. Then he's got Diamond League champions. Now, let's look at his results so far this year. The fact that he opened so late in the season in his 200, man, this man is ready. But I thought he was looking a little bit nervous there. It's probably like the pre-race jitters, or maybe it was just because he was like the calm, but he looked a little bit nervous behind the eye. And it's probably just being a little bit excited for that. But he's made sure he worked on his weaker events before he worked on his strongest event. Now, it's the rule is that people typically have been taught to do is to work on your weaknesses and maintain your strengths. And he looks like he's been doing that over the years, and it's been working so very well for him. He got a new personal best, 644, blazing. Or actually, no, that was the 643. That was the second best time. But blazing these times right here. This is very, very good for him. Now, what I want to say with him versus his competition, let's look at Oblique Seville. We're going to be a little fair here. We're going to look at a different nation, Oblique Seville. We're going to look at what has happened to him. I'm going to put it right here so that we can have a one-to-one comparison. Fourth in the 4x1 in Tokyo. And then you got a third last year. But then look at these, fourth and fourth. He finishes in fourth. Can this be his year to challenge the rest of the field? Can that win over Noah Lyles excite him? I'm not sure, because going through rounds versus one-off race are two different things. But him getting that win over Noah Lyles may actually inspire him and push him to the next level. We're going to look at a couple of his results. He's basically done 1-1-1. We're going to see. We know what which coach he's working with. His coach is fantastic. We're going to see what happens. But right now, Noah Lyles, he's dominating the rest of the field. Yeah, he took that one loss, and whatever. It happens. And as he said on his Twitter, he was like, look, I'm not going to let that one slide. He's very competitive. He's bringing excitement here. And I submit to you that nobody is really going to be able to touch Noah Lyles. And I still say in the 100. Me personally, right now as it's looking, I think Noah Lyles has the 100 at about an 80% chance. Because he's still kind of shaky with how he starts compared to everybody else. But his finish, I swear, that acceleration, when he gets out of the drive phase, it starts accelerating, and then him holding on to that acceleration, he just does it better than virtually everybody else in the field. They could get out on him like Christian Coleman, and they get reeled right back in. It's kind of reminded me, what do you guys think, of Tyson Gay? Tyson Gay, I think, didn't finish or start nearly as far back as Noah Lyles does in some of these 100s. But Tyson Gay just had bad starts. Can we admit that right now? Tyson Gay had bad starts, and then a good start for him, a great start for him is just to have an okay and great start. Tyson Gay just had bad starts in a 100. But this is kind of reminding me of Tyson Gay starting back and then clawing people away. And we already know that Noah Lyles has been able to do that in the 200. So anyway, as you guys have watched this, you've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And for those, check out the video that I have strictly on business. I was going to blend it into this one. I decided not to. But always, as we're seeing these athletes improve in their performances, improve in what they do, don't forget to improve in your own life. You can go out there 15 minutes, 30 minutes, work on the thing that you can work on. You may call it a side hustle. Look, daily, you should be doing an hour, but start off at 15 minutes every single day. I'm telling you, someone just contacted me today, and she said, hey, I followed what you said. I did a 30-day challenge to myself. Now, I'd rather not have it where it's there, but hey, if you need a handicap like that, and then she said she extended another 7 days. She went from less than 600 followers on her TikTok to now almost 5,000 in 30 days, people reaching out to her for her business, for her design business, and they're coming after her. She's teaching them, showing tips and tricks. Guys, keep that in mind. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.